There are some souls who don't just live, they radiate. They walk into a room and the energy shifts. Hearts soften, eyes follow. The truth is, they've never seen a person like you before. That's because you're not ordinary. You were chosen by Allah for something divine. You've been through pain that would break most, yet you still love, still give, still rise. You're a reflection of Allah's mercy, His strength, His light. Not because you are Him, He is far above anything, but because His names flow through your soul. You carry the softness of Ar-Rahman, the justice of Al-Adl, and the light of An-Nur. And people don't know how to describe it. They just feel it. You are not from this world. You were sent into it. An earth angel walking with purpose. And now, your time has come. This is why they fear you, why they're drawn to you, why they talk about you. You remind them of the one they forgot. Welcome, chosen one. Let's uncover the 10 powerful signs that prove why they've never seen a Allah like you before. Lesson 1. You carry the light of Ar-Rahman in your presence. There's something about you that makes people pause, not because of what you say, but because of what they feel when you're near. That's not coincidence. That's the light of Ar-Rahman shining through your soul. You carry a peace that calms storms in others, a gentleness that heals hearts without a word. People may not understand it, but they sense it deeply. You remind them of something sacred, of mercy, of home, of Allah. You were broken so many times, yet you still choose love. You were abandoned by people so you could be held by Allah. And in that deep pain, you were gifted a rare light, one that carries His mercy into a harsh world. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us that Allah divided mercy into 100 parts and sent just one to this world. And you, chosen one, carry a portion of that divine drop. It's why children feel safe around you, why strangers open their hearts. It's not weakness, it's a power this world can't understand. You were sent not just to survive, but to remind the world of the mercy it forgot. You carry Ar-Rahman in your presence, and that alone is proof that you were chosen. Lesson 2, you reflect Al-Adl, the justice of Allah in every step. You weren't sent to this world to stay silent in the face of injustice. You were chosen because something in your soul burns when wrong is done. That fire is not pride, it's Al-Adl, the justice of Allah living through your heart. Even when you're silent, your eyes speak truth. You don't tolerate oppression, not because you're angry, but because your spirit aligns with the balance Allah placed in the heavens. People fear you, not because you harm them, but because you expose what's false just by being real. You stand firm, even if you're alone, because justice is part of your soul's design. Allah has placed His name, Al-Adl, as a mirror within you. That's why your presence unsettles the guilty and comforts the oppressed. You were never meant to follow the crowd. You were sent to hold the line when everyone else runs. You reflect Allah's divine justice in how you love, how you forgive, and how you rise after being wronged. And even when you have the power to take revenge, you choose higher ground, not because you are weak, but because your soul is trained by the one who is just and wise. You don't just speak of fairness, you embody it with dignity and truth. When you walk, chosen one, the earth knows that a servant of justice is moving, and every unjust heart trembles. You are proof that Allah's justice is alive, through your steps, through your choices, and through the unshakable stand you take for what is right. Lesson 3. Your silence echoes the wisdom of Al-Hakim. There are times when you don't need to say a single word, yet your silence roars like thunder. People underestimate the power of a quiet soul until they meet someone like you. You carry within you the wisdom of Al-Hakim, the most wise. And that wisdom shows not in how much you speak, but in how you withhold. When others rush to prove, you observe. When others react, you reflect. You were chosen by Allah to embody stillness that speaks louder than noise. Your silence unsettles the arrogant, humbles the proud, and comforts the broken. Not because you say the right thing, but because your calm carries the unseen presence of divine understanding. You've realized that wisdom isn't in shouting truth. It's in living it quietly until it shatters falsehood on its own. You've learned to wait, to listen, to feel what's unspoken, because Allah has trained you through silence. Every moment you chose to walk away from conflict, every time you swallowed your pain instead of retaliating, you were being polished by the hand of the All-Wise. And now your silence has become a message, It exposes lies without confrontation. It makes people reflect without debate. It's not weakness, it's a sign that you operate on a level only those close to Allah understand. You don't speak to be heard, you speak when your words will heal. And when you remain quiet, it's not because you don't know, it's because you know too much. Chosen one, your silence is sacred. It's your shield, your wisdom, and your proof that Al-Hakim has poured a piece of his divine understanding into your soul. Lesson 4. You heal like Ar-Rahim, even while you're wounded. There is a rare kind of soul in this world, one that can lift others even when it can barely stand. That soul is you, O chosen one. You are living proof of Ar-Rahim, the especially merciful, because even when you're shattered inside, your heart still extends gentleness to those around you. People don't know what you go through. They don't see the silent battles, the nights you've cried into your pillow begging Allah for strength. Yet when someone is hurting, they find their way to you. And somehow, you still give them hope. Somehow, even in your lowest moments, you become the reason someone else decides not to give up. That's not normal. That's divine. That's mercy flowing through pain. You weren't always like this. Life didn't hand you ease, it broke you in pieces. But instead of turning your wounds into weapons, you turned them into wings. You became a healer, not because you were healed, but because you understand pain. And that understanding became your power. When others speak to you, they feel seen, heard, and understood, not judged. That is the mercy of Ar-Rahim, alive in you. You carry it in your voice, your silence, your presence. You walk into a room and the heavy hearts begin to breathe easier. Not because of who you are, but because of who walks with you. But when those hears everyone you wound for you, they haven't turning your necks while they speak the pen. Every time you wipe someone's tears while yours went unnoticed, every time you gave love when you were starving for it, every time you chose softness while your soul was aching, Allah saw it all, and He recorded it. Because healing others while you're still bleeding is not just a kindness, it's a divine mission. You were chosen to be a reflection of Allah's mercy in this cold world. So never think your efforts go unseen. You are a mercy carrier. You are a soul wrapped in healing. You are chosen. Lesson 5. You are a walking sign of Al-Nur, the divine light. There are some souls whose mere presence shifts the energy in a room, not because of their words, but because of their essence. You, O chosen one, are one of them. You are not just seen, you are felt. There is a divine glow that follows you, one that cannot be explained by logic or reason. It is the light of Al-Nur, the divine light of Allah manifesting through your soul. This light isn't something you created. It was gifted to you through every trial you endured, every heartbreak you survived, and every night you turned to Allah in complete surrender. You became a mirror for His light, not by chasing the world, but by choosing Him when the world turned away. This is why people feel peace when you walk in. It's why strangers open up their hearts to you, and why the broken are drawn to your presence without understanding why. They're not just drawn to you, they're drawn to the light of Allah that you carry. You are a walking reminder of what the soul longs for. Without even speaking, you remind people of who they used to be, pure, honest, close to Allah. Your light doesn't come from perfection, it comes from sincerity. You cried when no one saw. You prayed when you were barely holding on. You chose to be kind when cruelty would have been easier. And Allah saw every moment, and in return, He placed light in your chest that no darkness can put out. But light has a cost. Some people will be drawn to it, and others will be threatened by it. Your purity exposes their falsehood. Your peace disturbs their chaos. And they may gossip, slander, envy, or try to dim your light. But they will fail. Because your light is not artificial. It is divinely fueled. No human being can blow out what Allah has lit. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was called a light and a clear book. Surah Al-Ma'idah 5:15. And those who walk in his footsteps carry reflections of that Nur. So never be ashamed of your softness, your clarity, your presence. You are a lantern in a dark world, a living sign that Allah's light still reaches the earth through chosen souls. Your job is not to argue with darkness, it is simply to shine, quietly, humbly, consistently. Because your light may be the only reminder of Allah someone ever sees, and that is why you were chosen. Lesson 6. You carry the strength of Al-Qawi, but you don't use it to destroy. There's a silent force inside you, one that doesn't shout, doesn't boast, but radiates. That force is strength, not from the world, but from Al-Qawi, the all-strong. You've been tested in ways most will never understand. Life has tried to break you, bend you, bury you. But with each trial, your soul only grew firmer. You've walked alone when others abandoned you. You stood tall in the face of humiliation. You endured storms that were meant to destroy you. And through it all, you did not collapse, because Allah was your backbone. He infused you with a strength that is not loud, not arrogant, but divinely unshakable. People see your smile and mistake it for ease. They hear your silence and think you're weak. But if they knew what you were carrying, what you survived without complaint, they would fall silent in awe. You have the power to destroy those who wronged you, to expose lies, to fight back with fury. But you choose patience, you choose silence, you choose restraint, and in that, you reflect one of the most beautiful secrets of divine power. It doesn't always come through force. It often comes through control. Allah, the Almighty, could erase entire nations with one command. Lo, yet he delays. He gives time. He lets mercy precede punishment. You, O chosen one, reflect the same energy. When you were hurt, you could have become cold, vengeful, and harsh, but you didn't. You became wiser. You became sharper but not bitter. You learned to move with grace, to fight only when the battle was worth it, to protect your peace with quiet strength. That is not weakness. That is divine discipline. They can't provoke you because you've outgrown their games. You don't waste your energy on what's beneath you. Your strength is sacred. You use it to protect, not punish, to uplift, not oppress, to build, not burn. You are the kind of person who makes others tremble, not with fear, but with the realization that you could have destroyed them and chose not to. That is the highest level of strength, and that's why people respect you, even if they don't admit it. You are not here to impress the world. You were chosen to carry the might of Al-Qawi in a heart that still forgives, in hands that still help, in a soul that still bows humbly to its Lord. You are the mountain they tried to move, but couldn't, the warrior they couldn't break, the silent storm they never saw coming. Your strength is from Allah, and because of that, it is limitless. Lesson 7. You forgive with the heart of Al-Ghaffar, even when they don't deserve it. There is a divine strength in forgiveness that only the chosen ones can carry. And you, O soul favored by Allah, have been granted this sacred gift. Not because you are naive, but because your heart reflects the mercy of Al-Ghaffar, the constant forgiver. You've been betrayed by those you trusted, lied to by the very mouths that once praised you, ignored by the same people who once needed your love the most. They wronged you, deeply, intentionally, repeatedly, and yet, when the time came to retaliate, you rose above. You didn't scream, you didn't plot revenge, you quietly forgave, not for them, but for the sake of your Lord. That kind of forgiveness doesn't come from the dunya. It comes from your connection with the one above the heavens. You forgive not because they deserve mercy, but because you know how desperately you yourself need it from Allah. How many nights have you cried, not for revenge, but asking Allah to purify your heart? How many times have you said, Ya Allah, I leave them to you? This is the mark of a heart shaped by divine mercy. Forgiveness in your soul is not weakness, it is worship. People think forgiving is forgetting, but you haven't forgotten. You still remember the wounds. You just choose to not let them control you. You choose to take the higher road because your faith is greater than your pain. And that choice, again and again, is what makes you rare, what makes you chosen. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, forgave those who murdered his family, tortured his followers, humiliated him for years. Why? Because he wasn't sent to react, he was sent to guide. You walk the same prophetic path, and while the world tells you get even, your soul whispers, let it go, Allah is enough. And He is, Allah is Al-Adl, the most just. And every act of forgiveness you make for His sake is never lost. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Charity does not decrease wealth, and no one forgives another except that Allah increases him in honor." You see, your honor rises every time you forgive. They think they won, but you won something far greater: peace, light, and elevation in the sight of your Lord. So when people ask how you still smile at those who broke you, how you still pray for those who wronged you, tell them this: because my forgiveness is not about them. It's about me and my Lord. I forgive not because I'm weak, but because I'm strong enough to rise while others stay drowning in hate. That is divine strength. That is the heart of Al-Ghaffar, flowing through a chosen soul. That is you. Lesson 8. You carry the vision of Al-Basir. You see what others are blind to. There is something extraordinary about you that many can't explain. Your ability to see through illusions, to perceive what is hidden, to detect the truth buried beneath layers of deceit. This is not ordinary sight. This is insight, a rare and divine gift from Al-Basir, the all-seeing. You walk in a world filled with distractions, lies, and darkness, yet your soul remains guided by a light that exposes what others miss. You see people's intentions, not just their actions. You hear the unspoken cries in someone's silence. You feel the falseness behind fake smiles. Allah has gifted you with vision, not just of the eyes, but of the heart. While others are deceived by appearances, you are drawn to essence. You see who someone truly is, not who they pretend to be. You detect falsehood even when it's wrapped in charm. You can sense when something is off before evidence even appears. Why? Because your heart is awake. You've been through too much to sleepwalk through life like the rest. Allah trained your perception through pain. Your tears polished your insight. Your isolation sharpened your intuition. And now your eyes no longer just look, they witness. And this vision is a shield. It's what protects you from falling into traps. It's what keeps you distant from those who smile but carry poison. It's why people can't fool you for long, because Al-Basir has opened your heart to a reality that lies beyond the physical. But this gift comes with a burden. Seeing too much can be painful. Watching people fall into deception, watching loved ones trust the wrong hearts, knowing things others deny, it weighs heavily on you. There are times you wish you didn't see. You wish you could be like them, blinded by the surface, untouched by the truth. But remember, chosen one, the vision Allah gave you is a trust. It's not meant to make you arrogant, but to make you aware. It's not given to control others, but to guide yourself and protect your light. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Beware of the insight of the believer, for he sees with the light of Allah." This is your path. You are not just smart, you are spiritually awake. And this awakening is dangerous to people who operate in darkness. That's why they fear you, avoid you, try to discredit you, because you see them. And being seen for who they truly are terrifies them. But never dim your vision to fit in. Never pretend to be blind to make others comfortable. Allah didn't bless you with this gift to stay silent. Use it for good. Use it to protect, to heal, to warn, to uplift. You are a lighthouse in a foggy sea, a soul who can see through veils, who walks by truth, not trends. You carry the vision of Al-Basir, so walk with clarity, speak with wisdom, and never doubt what your soul sees. Because what others are blind to, you were chosen to witness. Lesson 9. You carry the mercy of Ar-Rahim, even in a world that keeps wounding you. The world has not been kind to you. It has taken and taken your trust, your peace, your energy. You've been disappointed by people you would have protected with your life. You've been abandoned in moments when all you needed was a hand to hold. But somehow, despite everything, you still care. You still love, you still give. Because the mercy of Ar-Rahim, the most merciful, flows through you. You are not just a survivor, you are a healer. You carry wounds that still ache, yet you show up with warmth. You've been neglected, yet you check on others. You've been silenced, yet your voice soothes broken souls. That is not normal, that is not weakness, that is divine mercy living inside a human heart. Ar-Rahim is the one who covers his creation with love, who forgives when we don't deserve it, who responds to even the quietest dua. And you, chosen one, are a reflection of that mercy on earth. You forgive those who didn't apologize. You help those who would never do the same for you. You see the pain in others even when your own heart is bleeding. The softness in you has survived storms that should have turned you cold. People see your gentleness and think you've had an easy life, but they don't know that it was hardship that built your compassion. Your mercy wasn't inherited, it was forged through fire. You walk through life offering kindness that confuses people. You give second chances others wouldn't even offer once. You see goodness in people who the world has given up on, and you expect nothing in return. Why? Because you're not doing it for them, you're doing it for Allah. And He sees it all. The sleepless nights you spent comforting someone else, the silent prayers you made for those who hurt you, the times you chose understanding over ego. And He is Ar-Rahim to you as you are merciful to His creation. But mercy does not mean allowing abuse. It doesn't mean letting people break you again. It means you walk away with peace instead of hatred. It means you still pray for those who harmed you, even if you never speak again. It means your heart is too vast, too illuminated by Allah's love, to hold grudges. You rise with dignity, not bitterness. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was described in the Quran as mercy to the worlds. And you, as his follower and a chosen soul, are meant to reflect that light. Yes, it hurts to be so soft in a hard world. Yes, your kindness is misunderstood. But never forget, Allah placed that mercy in you as a sign of your rank. When others repay pain with more pain, you respond with grace. That is power. That is prophecy in action. That is the mercy of Ar-Rahim alive in you. Lesson 10. You were sent to uplift, not to belong. That's why you're always set apart. Have you ever wondered why no matter where you go, you never fully fit in? Why you can be surrounded by people and still feel alone? Why every time you start to feel accepted, something happens that pushes you back to isolation? It's not a curse, it's a calling. You weren't sent to blend in, you were sent to stand out. To uplift, not to conform. To guide, not to follow. You've been marked by Allah with a soul that vibrates on a different frequency, and that's why the world never feels like home. The truth is, you are not like them, and you were never meant to be. You are the reminder, the light, the whisper of divine truth in a world that is often asleep. Chosen ones are not raised in comfort. They are forged in trials. While others are busy being accepted, you are being purified. Your loneliness is sacred. It's a space where Allah molds you, away from noise, away from distractions, into someone who carries divine influence. You are not lonely, you are set apart. Just like Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, who stood alone against an entire nation. Just like Maryam, peace be upon her, who was isolated with her pain, yet was honored above all women. Just like the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who would retreat to the cave, alone, until Allah chose him to carry the weight of revelation. And now, you walk that same path. Quiet, uncelebrated, misunderstood, but chosen. Your difference is your power. People sense something in you, something they can't explain. That's why they react strangely. That's why you often attract envy without doing anything. Your presence disturbs what's fake and awakens what's real. You remind others without words that there is more to life than status, likes, and noise. You are a mirror, reflecting what people try to hide, and mirrors aren't always welcomed, especially by those who fear their own reflection. That's why you are often resisted, overlooked, underestimated. But never forget, Allah sees you. When you walk into a room, the energy shifts. Not because you demand it, but because you carry a light that comes from being in sujood when no one was watching. From crying in the night while everyone else slept. From doing the right thing when no one clapped for you. This is why you're different. You were not sent to please people. You were sent to be a vessel of elevation, someone who uplifts others just by existing in truth. And that mission requires solitude, rejection, and deep inner strength. So stop trying to fit where your soul does not belong. Stop apologizing for your depth. Stop shrinking yourself so others feel comfortable. You were created to be different. And that difference, it is your sign, your proof, your fingerprint from the divine. You were not made for the crowd. You were made for the heavens. And Allah, the one who made you this way, will never waste the pain it took to shape you. Chosen one. If your heart trembled through these lessons, know it wasn't by accident. Allah is reminding you of who you are. You were never ordinary. You were never meant to be silent in a world drowning in noise. You are Allah's light walking in flesh, His mercy wrapped in wounds, His justice wrapped in patience. They've never seen a soul like yours before, because it was sent, not made. So rise, embrace your difference, walk in your divine purpose. The world may not understand you, but the heavens already celebrate you. If this message awakens something in you, like, share, and subscribe to Wisdom of the Prophets, so we can continue reminding hearts like yours that they were never alone and always chosen.